Daf Hashavua, Tuesday, Rosh Chodesh, Adar Aleph, first day of Rosh Chodesh. The biggest simcha, the only simcha, is the simcha of what? The simcha of Torah. By Yehuda Moisa Ora, the simcha of Asasa Vikar. Ora means what? And Torah. Says the Gemara. Now, the last year got caught up a little bit. So we're just going to back up a tiny bit and then try to go quickly through it until the two dots, and then do the second half of the Amar Rava. We're up to the Amar Rava Ben Kfar. Amar Rava Ben Kfar Shalach Leir. If you weren't here for the last year, you might not follow this, so you could listen later to that year. Amar Rava Ben Kfar, a villager Shalach Leir, that he went to a big city that reads on the 14th. So if you remember, we said that a villager could go back, let's say the 14th comes out on Tuesday or Wednesday or Friday, you could read back on Monday and Thursday before you read earlier than the 14th. So what happens if a benefit that went to a city, he was at a city, at a big city, he had read earlier already, read on Monday, now it's Wednesday, and he's in the city. Benka hu benka, whether or not he's going to be going back to his town for the morning, or he's not going to be going back to his town in the morning, Kori Mohem, he reads with the city, even if he's going home that night. My time, what's the reason? Really, this villager is supposed to be reading like the big cities, like the present. The Rabbanan were lenient on the villagers to read earlier. Now, in order that they should give food and drink to their brothers in the big cities. Now, Hanimili, when did they allow you to do that? When on Purim, the villager was home, that's okay. When he anyway was in the city, he has to read like the people of the city. But we asked on the last year, and the answer got cut off, that, wait a second, the Gemara came out, there were two possible reasons why you're allowed to read, why the villagers could read earlier. The Havmi of the Gemara was that it was for the benefit of the people of the big city. That in order that the villagers should have time on Purim, they shouldn't read the Megillah on Purim, they should have time to feed the cities. The Gemara proved that wrong. And the Gemara came out, the real reason was for the benefit of the villagers as a reward, that because they're busy all year feeding the big cities, on Purim we want them to have time to themselves. But here the Gemara brings down the Havmina. In order they should be able to feed the people in the cities. Why does it? So we mentioned that the Turei Even says the Gemara really means that whichever reason you go with, you could say this answer. Of course, the Gemara knew that the real reason why we let the villagers read early was not for the benefit of the big cities, but rather for their benefit. But the Gemara was going either according to the whole reason it fits in. I'm going a little quicker. I apologize. The only problem we came out with the 12th grade today, and I realized this when I was saying the shir, is that the first reason doesn't even make sense. Because the original Havmina was that they should read earlier, so that on Purim they shouldn't have to read at all and be busy with the Megillah, and they should be able to make the food for the big cities. And if you're telling me now is that the reason the Rabbanan were Mekel is because they should have time, but they're anyway in the city, so make them read. Well, why are you saying that? That's the opposite. The whole reason we didn't want them to read is so they shouldn't be busy with the Megillah. That reason doesn't work. I looked around a little bit, I couldn't find the Teretz. Maybe we were trying to say that maybe it just means at night. That once he's there at night, usually he'd be at home, he's traveling in the next day. So once he's there at night he's not as busy with the food. Maybe it means at night. And that's what it means. It fits in because it says, benka. Whether he's returning home at night or not, he should read at night. That was the only shot we came up with. Okay. Says the Gemara, then the Gemara has a kasha. I'm going to try to go quickly to two dots. Versus Eisve Abaya. Abaya had a question on this on Rava that there's a brisa that says Ben Krachal here. If someone in a walled city went to an unwalled city, Ben Kachu Ben Kakorikin Komo. Either way, he reads like his city. So the Gemara says, so you see, so the Gemara says like this: Ben Krachal Gadaita. It won't enter your mind that when it says Ben Krach, that when it says a person of a walled city, that really means that it's a mistake. Because it's all dependent on whether he's going back that night at all or not, like we learned in earlier Gemara. So how could you say that someone in a walled city, either way, how could you say someone in a walled city should what? That it all depends on his place. Depends if he's going back or not. Elah ben far. Rather, it's a mistake. When it says ben kra, it means ben far, a villager. So a villager, it all depends, maybe. And if it means a villager, now you have a question on Rava. That the Brisa says, if the Korei Kim Komo, he reads like his place that if you read earlier, he doesn't read again. And now you're telling me, and Rava said, no, he does read again like the city. I'm going a little bit quickly. So maybe I'll slow it down. And answers the Gemara. Says, aren't you answering up the Mishnah? You already had a problem with the Mishnah, with the Brisa, that Abai brings down. That Ben Krach really means Ben Kfar. So therefore, you already said that when it says Ben Krach, it means Ben Kfar. So Tani, change the end also. And when it says Korei what? Bim Koma, you read the same as his own city. Read instead Tori Kori Man, read with that. So therefore, the price will be exactly like Rava. That it means that a Ben Kfar, a villager that goes to a big city, Ben Kafu Benka, no matter what, Kori Man, he should read with them. He reads like the big cities, exactly like Rava said. Says them, now it's today's Gemara. Me'echam Korei Adam as Megillah, 2 dots. Me'echam Korei Adam as Megillah. When do you read the Megillah from? So we have the Mishnah. The Mishnah brings out 3 reasons, three shitos. One sheet is you read from the beginning. Rameir says Kula. Rabbi Yehuda says from Ish Yehudi, from Mordechai. Rabbi Yossi says Ma'achar Gormaela. You read from when Haman was uplifted to be the high minister. So the Gemara brings out Rav Shimon bar Yochai. Omer, Rav Shimon bar Yochai says the 4th reason, Mibalaylahu. You read the Megillah from when Achashverosh couldn't sleep. Mibalaylahu, Navid Ashnas Hamel, when Achashverosh couldn't sleep and he has to bring the Sefer Sephornos. Rav Yochanan says, B'kula Mikra Achadarshu. All these shitos, the 3 of our Mishnah and Rav Shimon bar Yochai, they all expound on one pasuk to learn their pshat. What does it say? Vatichtov Esther HaMalka Mordechai Yehudi is called Tokef. Esther HaMalka and Mordechai Yehudi wrote all the strength of the happenings of the Megillah. What does it mean, all the strength? Manda Amar Kula, the one that says you read the whole Megillah, what strength did they speak about? Tokef Shal Achashverosh. They wanted to speak about the mightiness of Achashverosh. Manda Amar Mishudi, the one that says, you start from Yeshudi, when it says that they wrote about the strength, they meant the Tokef Shal Mordechai. They meant the strength of Mordechai. Manda Amar Achad Barmaela, the one that says you learn it from the words Achad Barmaela, Tokef Shal Haman. They want to speak about the strengths of Haman. And the other, and the Mandamar that says from Malailahu, that from Achashverosh not being able to sleep, Tokfa Shonation wanted to speak in general, the Tokfa of the Nace. Okay. Says the Gemara, Rav Huna says Mehacha. From here. By the way, just for the record, we have almost 20 guys here today for Daf Hashavua. But anyway, Amar Avuna, Amar, Mehacha, from here. Umaro, from the following pasuk. It's a very unclear pasuk. It's very strange pasuk. It says it's unclear what it means. Umaro, what did they see? Fit to do something. I'll talk on this. Umaiki, and what happens then? It's a very strange pasuk. Umagiel, and what happens then? So each of these people are going to expound on this strangeness by saying what it means. The one that says read the Megillah says it means Achashverosh. What did Achashverosh see that he used to count Beis Hamikdash al kacha? For this reason, because he calculated 70 years of Galus below Ifrik, and the Jews weren't saved. And what happened to them? To Vashti and Achashverosh and the other people in the kingdom, the cult of Vashti, their queen Vashti was killed. And the one that says we learn out from Yeshua. The one that says you read from Yeshua. Mordechai. What did Mordechai see? That he got Haman upset. How do you say that? That he provoked Haman. Al-Kacha, on the following, he provoked him for the following reason. The Shavin Avodah Zarah, because Haman made himself Avodah Zarah. What happened? The Klaisel, because of that Tzrachas Nisha, that a nace happened. The one that learns it from when Haman became a chief minister. Haman. What did Haman see? That he was upset at all the Jews. For the following reason, Mordechai didn't bow down to him. What happened to them? To Haman and his children, and he and his children's sons got home. And the last Madam Rabbi Shimon that learned from Balayla Ha'u. Why did Achashverosh bring the Sefer HaZikaronos? For the following reason: that Esther invited Haman with him, with Achashverosh and Megillah. What happened to them? This Rosh Hashanah, the days happened. Moving right along. The halach is like the one that says you have to read the whole Megillah. That's how we do it. But even according to the one that says that you read it from Ish Yehudi, you still have to have the whole Megillah as a whole, and then you just start from the second paragraph. Megillah Sefer. Megillah is called the Sefer, right? It has similarities to Sefer Torah, but Nikras Igaris, but it's also called a letter. Nikras Sefer, it's called the Sefer She'im Tifara B'chutei Pishtan. If you sew it together with linen, strands, psul, it's possible. Rashi says, because like a Madam or a Makos that says the Sefer Torah that you put together with strands. I'm sorry, we started early today, but there's food. Go under the live stream. So even alumni come back to listen to that as well. Shim Tavra B'chutei Pisham Psula, your puzzle. The Nikras Igares, and it's called so again, it's called like a Sefer Torah because it's trying to tell us that you can't use Chutim will be done in 3 minutes. Let's stick with us. That if you use strands of linen, it's puzzle, you have to use instead of what? Sinews. What's sinews? You know what it is? For a Sefer Torah, it's like what attaches different muscles together. It's like fibers in the body. That's what you have to use to put the strings in the Sefer Torah. So the Megillah is called Sefer because you have to use the sinews, but it's called Igeres, the Nikri Igeres, Shem Hitova, Shlosha, Chutei Gidin, that if you only need the Sefer Torah, you have to sew it all the way, a little bit on top, a little bit on bottom, you leave, and the whole thing has to be sewn. Here, you could use 3 strands, and it's going to be kosher. But it has to be equal amounts, meaning let's say you have a couple of inches, then a strand, the same amount, couple inches strand, couple inches strand, so you can have like 4 spaces. That you have to have, even if you don't sew it down the whole thing. I'm Rabbi Shmuel. The last piece, Hakori b'Megillah Aksuvim and Aksuvim. If you read the Megillah that's written, with other Aksuvim, right? Our Megillah is by itself. But if you read a Megillah, you know how they like to have the Svarim of the whole Tanakh? So some in the times of the Gemara, Rashi says they used to have all the Ksubim, or all the Tanakh. Not all Tanakh, but all the Ksubim they used to have, different Svarim they used to have together. Let's say you read a Megillah and it had other Ksubim in there. It says the Gemara, Kar Megillah Ksubim and Ksubim was written with other parts of Ksubim Lo Yatz, it doesn't work. Amarava Lo Amar, we didn't say it doesn't work, El Lo Mitzvah Miyatz Porta. Except if it was exactly the same height as the other Ksubim. It wasn't Metzra missing, wasn't shorter, Miyasra taller a little bit. Aval Metzra Miyasra Porta, it was a little bigger, a little shorter, less lamba, it's not a problem because it shows the whole reason you can't have part of a, let me back up. Why can't you use a Megillah part of Megillah? So says Rashi. Because you need a letter for itself, because when you read a letter, it looks like you're announcing it. You're not just learning it to read. You're not just learning it, sorry. You're announcing it, so it has to be something different. So now the Gemara says, as long as part of the Megillah is shorter or bigger, the Megillah part then is good. Bar Levi, Bar Shmuel, Hadikakari came to Rabbi Yehuda, the Megillah, Haksuva ben Haksuvim, and later Bar Shmuel did read in front of Rabbi Yehuda in such a Megillah that was written without Haksuvim. Amalei Hari Amra, Akari Megillah Haksuvim Haksuvim Layotza. He said, we already said that if you write it, Shlomo already, that if you write it with a Megillah written between if you write a Megillah from other Megillahs, lo, Yatsa, that's what he told him. Have a wonderful day. Thank you everyone for coming.